I'm going to call this video the coronavirus toilet paper saver. In Southern California, where I'm at, the people have went nuts about the coronavirus, and you can't find toilet paper unless you want to pay a lot of money for it. And I'm not saying you can't stand in a long line and get it, but my wife decided to get something here, and I will put a couple of links, a link to this piece and a link to this piece here. They were two separate pieces, and this one here we had to find on the internet. I actually went to a plumbing supply place, and this is a small connector that hooks to your toilet and then gives you the male end at the other, or a little farther away. And then of course this was some type of a bidet thing. Like I said, I'll put it in the comment area. Problem we had was it couldn't screw around here. If you have a toilet that like an older toilet where this part is sticking down and you got plenty of room, you are not going to have a problem. You're not going to need the adapter. But these newer toilets that for some reason you got to hide everything, people can't look at this stuff. This is what we have. So we had to get an extender, and I did go down to a plumbing supply place. Now, here's a problem I've had with plumbing supply places and other material distributors over the years and the time I've worked, and that is that they're not always going to want to help you. They're not always going to want to tell you, where to find something, and so that's not going to be a good thing. You're going to have to rely on your wits here. And, my wife went on the internet. She was determined to hook this thing up, went on the internet and found the component or the part that she needed, and we hooked it up. So here's one of the pieces. Like you can see here, we just couldn't get this thing to tighten up, and it was leaking. And it does have an adjustable valve here where you can adjust the pressure on the sprayer. And so that's a good thing. But you can see here, when I shove it up here, we just couldn't get it in. You could tighten this right here. And you're thinking, well, wait a minute, this will tighten up, but this doesn't need to move. And that just wasn't the case. It just wasn't working out. So we had to get the extender. And you can see here where it is extending. It's doing its job here. So it was after that we were able to hook it up, and here's the little sprayer. You can see the end of the sprayer here is going to hook up to, I believe, this side here. This part ran right through. This hooks up to the toilet, to this part here, which we'll see here in a sec. Hook it up. You can see here, so here's the valve to adjust the pressure. And of course the sprayer is used to replace the toilet paper. It's like a bidet. And so, if you're on the toilet and you're taking a little stinky, or you're going number one or number two, you can use this here instead of toilet paper. So if this is going to be the hot selling item and save the coronavirus, now I don't want to get into the hygiene here. I have no idea if multiple people are going to get on here and use this. You could have a big problem. In other words, if too many people are going to be using this, it's going to need to be cleaned often, and probably after each use. So again, the extender, that's the main reason why I'm making the video. Not really going into detail on showing you how to hook everything up here. Kind of self-explanatory if you've done this type of stuff before. And this, of course, is where I'm going to get the most thumbs down on this video, is people want to see me hooking it up. And I did. I shot some video footage and it didn't turn out, so I'm not gonna bring it. I am going to show you here in a second the sprayer, the amount of water coming out. But the sprayer here can attach to the toilet on either side, and my wife chose to mount it to the cabinet here to as a little something that was a little more convenient. So let's go ahead and take a look at the water pressure. Here it is in action. A lot of pressure. I think this is on full spray. And for those of you who want to see it again, here it is again. Full spray. And of course, here's the valve right here if you need to lower the water pressure. And again, you would turn this. You could, I would imagine once you had it set in the spot that you wanted, you wouldn't need to adjust it again. And so it seems like a pretty good product. I do need to point out that, normally you just have a connection here at the shutoff valve, and then you have a connection going into the toilet. This does have another 3 more connection points here, here, and then the one at the toilet. And then I wasn't 100% sold on the way this hooked up. And so it is something kind of a concern of mine that you have a few more spots on this line here that could lead to a problem in the future. And hopefully it doesn't. So that's my biggest concern here, is the additional connecting points. And the cold water was it, basically. So it did hook up on either side of the toilet. You could hook it up to either side of the toilet. My wife hooked it up to the cabinet. And that is it. So if you're having a toilet paper shortage in your area, the coronavirus has gotten out of hand, or maybe you just want to have something on here that you can clean the toilet out every once in a while, this could be exactly what you're looking for.